Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Biblia Fitness. Hope everyone's had a great day and made some terrific gains. Today, I did want to go ahead and discuss a little bit more about ego on its own before I go and munch out. I just finished working out. Final workout of 2023. So it was a great upper workout. But for today, I wanted to go into it like a little further into the whole possession of ideas that we go through, or that we all are possessed by these great ideas. I've been listening to a history podcast, or like a series, and it's just fascinating how like what Stirner talking about this is like our notions of all these justice and good and evil and God and righteousness, it continuously changes, and the people who hold that the verdict of what those words are defined by, or what are the values and virtues that one must follow, or morals that one must follow in order to be a good person. It continuously changes, and it changes by the sword. You know, we it's fascinating how it changes, and we just kind of like go with it. These ideas are imprinted onto us from a very early age, and we never question the invalidity of all these constructs, because we feel like even with the blatant hypocrisy, it's a much better alternative to succumb to these notions and these ideals than escaping from it, and which is dangerous, obviously. That turns to nihilism, of course, when people start noticing these things. And but Stirner was one of the first, I think, to bring that up. We're so stuck on morals, and we still are. He continuously discusses or goes back to the point that just because we've rid ourselves of the supposed God and morals, is still a huge part of us. We must sacrifice ourselves for the greater good, and we must have this virtue of self-sacrifice and self-humiliation and abasement, right? One must fear and cower before this great idea that you tend to forget that the idea stemmed from you. It's not some divine epiphany. You're the one that decides on whether it should be this grand idea, on whether it should hold power over you. That's why he does make the contrast with the egoist. It's like, what can a religious person threaten an egoist with? Like eternal damnation. What if I don't believe in your stuff? I'm saying? Like, what if I don't believe in any of these notions? Or what if your concept of morality doesn't affect me because we think differently? And I'm aware that those are your ideas based on your biases and based on what's convenient for you. We like imbeciles take everything at face value, but we adopt these morals anyways for our benefits. People adopt Christianity, especially those of our lower classes, because it provides an avenue, or provides an explanation that the reason that they're oppressed is because the world's a giant error. The reason that the strong are ruling is because they're all part of the devil. They're all the devil's plan and the devil's disciples, and the world be damned anyways. This world doesn't matter. The only world that matters is the one beyond. It makes sense for people of a specific demographic or specific economic class, if one could say it in that way as well, that Christianity would be such an appealing religion to adopt or to take as one's own. Even that itself, right? It's a supposedly loving religion, but it's the first religion to cause a global genocide. How many bodies had to get piled up for them to be at the standard of what it is to be good, on what it is to be moral. It always harkens back to what Nietzsche observes, is to be moral, you have to commit the most immoral acts to get there. Truth is only truth when there's power behind it, and the necessary actions or decisions that have to be made in order to come out on top, right? The government does shit that puts other people in prison for 20 years for. And why can they do that? Because they are in possession of these great ideas that we always succumb to. We never question these great ideas. We only question the avenue to get to these ideas. We make this, we have disputes on the ladder to get there, or how the means to get there, he, that, because the observation really does make is like, morality at its lowest form is a sort of behavior, right? It's a habit, is, you having to act a certain way at all times, and abide by these rules. And that's what it means to be a moral cultured man, is to fully embrace these grand ideas of society and civilization, and fully embrace them without question, and to adopt them fully, and it's just always interesting when you look back at history, how these grand ideas really are the most dangerous things, right? Like, we go on crusades, and we go on and pillage and conquer other nations, and say that it's for the benefit of God, is to bring religion and the Enlightenment, or bring Christianity to barbarous nations. And people to this day still quack to that excuse, not understanding that those are all just excuses. These ideas are excuses to vindicate one's behavior, because no one's going to adopt morality without self-interest involved anyways. He makes that, I know I just made an example of that, but he also talks about the French Revolution. There's a reason the middle class had to get put down mercilessly, because they didn't want to go along with the revolutionary ideas. They knew that it was going to their disadvantage. It was going to fuck them over. And that's why, it was quite bloody times indeed, after the French Revolution, or during the whole ordeal. It's always, the obsession of grand ideas, and then, him already beginning to offer the opposite of it all, is to look down on them with scorn, or to adopt them, but always questioning them itself. There's a lot of similarities with Nietzsche. He also talks about how, like, yeah, you can adopt an idea, but you become its biggest critic. You are your biggest critic and your biggest opponent. You're always poking at your own beliefs and trying to figure out what are my flaws of the beliefs that I've just adopted. You never allow yourself to be taken away by the spirit, by the idea, by the spirit of idea. My apologies, but always be willing to adapt, and to see, to be able to observe those flaws. And it takes a big step in order to observe flaws. We're very trepidatious when it comes to admitting faults. And when we admit faults, we want to make it seem like it's instinctual. We have no control over it, like jealousy or lust or something like that, or even stupidity. Some people are just born to be a little slower than others. But I can't recommend this book enough. I could see how this all begins to play out. Hopefully I get to eat and read a little bit before I go to work. But that'll be all for today. I haven't really read much these past couple days, but I'm probably gonna get back to it hard tomorrow. Pause. Till next time, guys. I hope y'all made beautiful gains, and if I don't put out a video before the new year, hope y'all have a great New Year's. Hope this following year is more prosperous than the one that is about to expire. And till next time, guys. Love y'all. Peace.